Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermanni. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go. It is Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
April 6, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, Bottom Line. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, buddy. Been a tough day, tough morning, but here we are. This is the life that we chose. We chose to be in the business of entertaining people, and I'm excited. Stefon Diggs gets paid. Another wide receiver getting broke off, so, I mean, you know I'm happy.
We got a lot to get to today. Tom Mazawey. Is your audio in your ear good?
It's mediocre, but it's better than it was.
Do you need me to work on it a little bit?
No, just leave it the way it is. I appreciate you. I appreciate Braylon and the boys.
I appreciate you, buddy. My buddy bought me lunch today, man. I told him I wasn't having the best day.
Man bought us both lunch today.
He bought all of us lunch. He got Alex the lunch, too.
What a guy.
This guy here, man.
I'm sorry, Sam. I
Who's
forgot Sam. Damn it.
How do you forget
okay, man.
Sam? Well,
Sam,
you put it on the list. You did write a text message to the group.
Yeah, I did.
Sam didn't respond to it.
He was working.
Tell me more about this concert.
I just asked Braylon out of the break when we were chilling. I was like, "Would you ever go?" First of all, I said I saw on Easy's computer. He had The Weeknd up. Great artist.
Great artist.
Yep.
I asked Bray, have you ever seen him?
Should be.
He's like, "Yeah, I've been there." So I'm going to buy tickets for his concert coming up here. I think he's at Ford Field.
Ford Field?
Yeah, I think he's at Ford Field.
He can sell out Ford Field?
I think he can.
The Weeknd?
Yeah. I might be wrong. It might be.
Yes, he can sell, but
It might be Little Caesars.
It's at LCA.
Is it LCA?
I know for a point.
All right, thank you. Well, you could have said that to me.
But I didn't want to correct you. It was fine.
So then I said, I don't know why the hell I thought about it, but REO Speedwagon's coming.
Oh.
And they're coming with Styx. And I think there's another group with them. I don't know, maybe Air Supply or something like that. And they're coming to Pine Knob, and it's a Wednesday night in June. I said, would you ever consider going? And he's like, hell yeah. So maybe we'll all do like a field trip. We'll take Alex and Sam with us.
I'd love to go.
Let's do it.
We should make Chad buy tickets.
I love REO Speedway. I love Styx as well. Speaking of Styx, but see, Styx is a bit of a PTSD for me. Not the Detroit Lions, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They used Styx, this video montage, in the beginning of the fourth. Excuse me. That sandwich was spicy. I apologize. It was really good.
Spicy Italian?
There it is, man.
That's
it was great.
That's what they called me
Spicy
for a little while.
So, fourth quarter, once the Steelers are going back on defense, and once they go on defense for the very first time, the lights go completely dark in the stadium. Now, obviously, it works better when it's a night game. Typically, they do it at night games. It's better. But when it's a night game, just set the scene. It's a night game. You're in Pittsburgh. Let's say it's a Monday night game.
Black and yellow.
You got black and yellow. You got let's take it back to 2004, 2003, 2005. Those Steelers Ravens games were the stuff of dreams. Now just imagine being a Raven. Now just imagine being a team that's not like the Ravens back then. Just imagine being the old lowly Cleveland Browns who were coming off a 3-13 year.
Man.
Well, insert me. So we play in Pittsburgh. It's in December. It's a night game. You got the wind coming off the river, excuse me. It's just amazing vibe. We're trying to be in the game. We're in the game, so we think. Fourth quarter comes. Lights go out in the stadium. Pitch black. And all you hear, oh, mama, I'm like, what the hell is this? And then
you were like Drago in Rocky IV when he heard "Living in America."
Nah, because Drago said, what is this nonsense? I'm about to kill Apollo. This was different. This was like, we're about to get killed. Then they start flashing the lights, like on beat with the song. Doom, doom, doom. I'm like, oh, mama. I'm like, what is going on? And then they show the montage, and then you see Troy Polamalu, like the air coming off his mouth. He's getting the interception. He's sacking somebody on the one. Then you see James Harrison, and then you see the defense that is Pittsburgh Steelers. Every time I hear that, I feel like we get blown out. Man, we were so like in shock and in awe. 30 quick points they scored.
Braylon,
so I hate that song, but I love it at the same time.
That's good.
Wisconsin, Camp Randall, Pittsburgh, the Steelers, Ohio State. You when you said what happened in Pittsburgh, it just kind of jogged something in my mind. What was the hardest place that you said you had to go into and play? Was it Camp Randall? Was it Columbus? Was it?
Is this in college? Am I
college or pro?
College
or pro? I mean, it's just because I would anticipate that a college atmosphere was always better than an NFL atmosphere to me, maybe because I'm a little bit more of a college guy. Right. But, the chants and everything like that, what would you say, college or pro, is the hardest stadium to play in?
See, I saw it from two different sides. I saw when I was at Michigan, we were good. Like, we were expected to win or in each game. Like, I never was in a game at Michigan where we were supposed to lose bad or we were scared to play or nervous
to play. Well, you walked out of the field, didn't expect to win the game.
So I walked into Columbus, and it's the Horseshoe. And the Horseshoe it's a horrible place to play if you're an opposing team. But it didn't faze us. And we've been doing it for years. Michigan State, East Lansing. Not as big of a crowd in terms of number-wise, but it's a loud place. It can get loud when you get into it. So, there's places you play. None of that bothered me. But that thing in Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots play, Monday Night Football, it wasn't an easy place to play.
Really?
And then, obviously, I was telling the story of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is probably, for me, the hardest place to play. They get to waving those terrible towels around. You get to see the black quarterback. You get to see the black scoreboard. Excuse me. You get to see the black scoreboard in the fourth quarter, and they play sticks. They play renegade. They hit hard. Something about getting hit in December. January is a little different than September, so now you add all that to it. Playing in Pittsburgh, Heinz Field, for me, it was the most difficult place to play, and it had the best atmosphere, and it was one that's like every time you walked on the field, nothing mattered. We have been winning a lot of times in those games. We lose at the end. I never felt the lead was safe, obviously, and I never felt we were going to win, and most times we didn't.
I'll tell you, last season, when I was sitting at Spartan Stadium in that Michigan State game, and it was like a little blustery kind of day, a little rain. That crowd was so into that game. That was a really great home field advantage. And then the game you went to, the finale at Michigan Stadium against Ohio State. Maybe it just worked out that those teams that day were ready, just ready to win.
But I think the difference. Oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, that's all I'm going to say. I never saw the Big House quite like that day, and I never saw Spartan Stadium so exciting as it was that day.
I think the thing that Michigan State kind of separates their stadium apart from Michigan. Let's just use Michigan, for example. Is Michigan has crazies, but their crazies typically don't make it inside.
Yeah.
Like the crazies in Albert, they typically stay at the house parties.
Yeah.
They typically stay on the lawn playing hacky sack and beer pong, beer cup, and all those things. The crazies that take their shirt off and they're out there, they don't make it in the stadium. So when you hear that knock on Michigan, it's the wine and cheese crowd. There's a lot of people in the seats that are older and not wanting to do all that and don't bring that same energy. Michigan State has a great balance of, yes, they have the older people, but those older people get rowdy as well. And a lot of those crazies that you see, they are in the front row, no shirts on in December. You saw the guys. Alex still knows better than us. That meme of the Penn State game that they won, it's like 4 guys, no shirt on, and it's a snow blizzard.
Go
it's a
green
snowstorm.
And go white.
Go
that
green, but go home.
It's pretty good.
I think they do a really good job of their crazies
Great
getting
music,
into it and getting good seats.
Good atmosphere.
And Maz, to your point, though, about the Michigan-Ohio State game last year, that was, to me, I don't think in my lifetime I'll experience a sporting event like that again because of everything that went into it. The snow alone, the sheer atmosphere of the weather was one thing. And then you're talking about a complete and total domination by the Buckeyes over the Wolverines for the better part of 2 decades. You're coming up on 20 years of real misery in that series. The greatest rivalry in my mind in sports, at least in college sports, and a championship on the line in that game. That to me was, I don't think I could top that one, being in the stadium on that day. I don't think I'll ever go to a game with everything lining up the way it did.
I got one for you guys. And remember, matter of fact, I got 2. The Tigers and the A's, Game 4, ALCS, Magna Ordonez, 2006.
Yeah.
Just that whole playoff run, everyone in their navy blue with the old English D. I was so excited to be a Tiger fan at that moment. I forgot I was a Yankee fan.
I'll go before you.
Yeah.
In 2006, when the Tigers beat the Yankees in the divisional series. In 2006, this was a team that was 3 years removed from losing 119 games, who has this new manager, Jim Leland, who's throwing stuff in the office on a Sunday after losing to the Indians because that stuff's not going to go on around here any longer. And then they make the playoffs that year, and to beat the big bad Yankees.
With JV and who was our Zamaya?
Joel Zamaya.
Oh.
Just remarkable. Sports is so great, man, because you can really lose yourself in sports in just kind of whatever you're feeling on that particular day, whatever's going on in your life, you have those 3 hours or 2.5 hours, depending upon the sport, to really just kind of root for your team, hate against the team that you don't like, and all of that kind of stuff. There's nothing quite like sports.
I think you have it right, though, with that Michigan-Ohio State game. And when you said it, you came in that Monday, and you told us all that was the best experience of your life. And if you remember, I questioned. I was like, the best ever? When you just look it back, you said 20 years, and you're right. It was exactly 20 years. 2001 is when Tressel got there. January 2001 is when Tressel had the press conference in Columbus during the basketball game, and he said, "Don't worry, we're going to beat that team up north." And they did beat us that year. And then they beat us the next year and won the national championship. We won in 2003, but then we didn't win again until last year, or until 2013 and then that year. So 3 times in 21 years. So you're 100% right. But last year, because they keep the storyline going in the public that it's the best rivalry ever. Because that's how they try to sell you on the game come November.
It's all marketing.
They want you to watch it. It's the best rivalry in the game. Meanwhile, people are like, Michigan hasn't beat them in forever, but they do a good job of selling you. And then last year, it wasn't like there was nothing on the line. Right. See, that's what also added to the snow and the dominance and the power up front is Ohio State still had a chance to go to the national title last year. Ohio State still had a chance to go to the national championship, win the Big Ten title, and go. It's not like we beat some bum Ohio State team. It was so bad in that rivalry, even Ohio State fans were like, thank God you guys finally won. Now we can make it a rivalry. Like, people were looking for Michigan to win, and they did, so I think you're right about that
I can keep going,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could just keep going. How about Lions-Jets? When Reggie Brown went down, it was dead quiet. And then an hour later, Barry Sanders runs for 2,000 yards, and you couldn't even hear yourself think. How about that game?
What is the greatest sports moment locally here? What is the best game you've ever seen in person? And more often than that, and Maz and Braylon, if there's one stadium, and maybe this is a little bit different for you, but in any sport, if there's one stadium that you wish you can go see a game at tomorrow, what would it be? I want to get your take on that. And maybe we now know perhaps a reason why Jim Harbaugh did not get the Minnesota Vikings job. We'll talk about that, what we know of it, what we don't know of it. We'll do it all next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The
Catch.
Bottom line. Boom.
Still got it.
All right.
I'm ashy, too.
At Wingsnob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Need some energy? Well, here you go. Centron is here for you. I'm talking about aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavor energy drinks, revitalizer shots, and premium bottled water, pure to the T. Centron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Pistons, of the Detroit Red Wings. They are partners and exclusively sold at LCA and Birmingham Roads. If you're looking for premium ingredients, well, look no further because Centron is your choice. Follow them on Centron. Follow them on social at Centron World to see all the inspiring things that they are doing, from empowering women to supporting entrepreneurs. Find them at hockey games and also charity events. Drink it and live it with Centron.
Find them.
Think I froze, but I'm back.
Ermanni and Edwards here on a Wednesday. The weather outside.
It's frightful.
It might as well be opening day because that's what it looks like. Earlier today, Derek Kevra on Fox 2 did a graphic, by the way, because we always feel like it's miserable on opening day. DK. So he said, you know what? I'm going to go back and do a little homework on this and see if it is actually always miserable on opening day. 2021, he did not do 2020 because the season started in July. 2021, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, all miserable.
Jeez.
The last nice opening day was in 2015, 7 years ago.
Jeez.
That was the last nice one. All the other opening days had either rain or snow and highs in the 40s. The one high that was 52, ultimately there were flurries that day too, so it was kind of miserable
Listen to
and
me,
cold
guys.
earlier.
I've said it from the day one.
Yeah.
I'm a baseball guy. Play on the West Coast or in domes in April. Make our opening day in a week. We don't need opening day in March 30th like it was going to be. And we certainly don't need it right now.
Well, the problem, Maz, is on Monday this week, it's going to be, or on Monday, which is 5 days from now, it's going to be 65 and sunny.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like you just don't know.
Just play it that week.
Yeah.
You don't need it the first two. You don't need it the first week of April.
First 2 weeks in April.
You don't need it. There's plenty of places you could play.
Well, I don't know how that works in terms of scheduling the teams on the West Coast, because there only are so many teams on the West Coast. So I don't know how that works. But if it could work, if it had a chance to work, then that's something that they should be about, because I've been to opening day 2017, 18. I went 17, 18, and 19, I think, and it was cold as hell. I mean, eventually it's no longer cold. We know why that is. Typically, the drinks get to flowing and it's no longer cold outside. You're enjoying the opening day. But I want to go to the game. I want to sit in the crowd. I don't want to have to necessarily drink a ton of Gypsy vodka just to fill my own damn face.
No, but if you did, it'd be okay, because Gypsy vodka is...
It's a smooth thing to say.
Ooh-wee. Guys, I asked you, if there's one venue you could go watch a game, any game, football, basketball, baseball, what would it be? What's the place you want to go see?
I could guess Maz's probably.
Go ahead.
Square Garden?
No.
He's been there probably
but still,
times.
But you know Maz. What do we love about Maz? Maz is the nostalgia.
Yeah.
So when you're Maz, just imagine being Maz and sitting in his... Watch, I'm about to paint the picture for you, Maz. Imagine being Maz, growing up watching the fights at the Garden, watching the Knicks at the Garden. Last time they won, 71 at the Garden.
73.
73. I'm off by 2, but I'm not a New York fan. 73, Willis Reed coming back out the tunnel. Maz was there. Fights, watching that, like the Big East tournament at the Garden. So Maz,
NIT.
even though he's been there a million times, WrestleMania started there. I know you don't care about that, though. But you're sitting in a chair as Maz, and you're thinking about all these moments. You're like, man, wow. Ali Frazier right down there.
Oh.
So I'm looking at it from Maz from more of a nostalgic point of view, looking in the seats. You and I go, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what have you done for me lately.
I haven't seen Holyfield at the
See,
Garden.
look at that. There it is.
I took my man Lloyd Jackson from WJR to New York to watch. I forget, it was Holyfield and Tyson, I think it might have been.
The ear bite?
I forget. No, it wasn't
The
Tyson.
first one?
I forget who it was. I have the rope at home still. Anyway, that's a great. It's great.
Bo?
It's still up. It might be
Maybe
Bo.
Riddick Bowe.
It
They
might
had
be
that
Bo.
trilogy.
Yeah,
it might be Riddick
Bo.
Bowe.
I got to double check it. But Madison Square Garden is still there.
George Foreman.
So I'm gonna still pick two places, and they're both here in Detroit. Tiger Stadium, because I just loved it. But I want to go to the Silverdome again, because that was the greatest home field advantage. Too bad we never really took advantage of it.
Yeah,
But boy,
true.
was that freaking place loud.
That was a great place,
love
and the
the Silverdome.
bleachers and all the fights and the beers and everything that was flowing. That's one thing, but I feel like it's a little unfair to talk about a venue that's not there anymore. I do want to make mention to our friends on the YouTube chat. Some people are talking about Justin Reed says, I wanted to be in Viking Stadium when Stefon Diggs had the walk-off Hail Mary touchdown.
Sweet.
Great day for that.
That was epic. Actually, he was there. Actually,
Oh, wow.
Clownsaw says, I want to go to a game at Wrigley or Fenway for baseball. Another Fenway
Phenomenal.
one from Tim. A lot of people talking about Fenway and Wrigley, two of the great baseball stadiums. Going to a game at the old Yankee Stadium was really an amazing experience for me. If there's one venue I could go to today that I've never been to, that I'd love to go to, can you guys guess what it is, first of all?
Seattle.
No.
I'm guessing new.
No, it's not new.
Camp
but
Randall.
unfortunately, there is some. I feel like it's got a stain to it now because of the name change of the arena. I always wanted to go to Staples Center and sit courtside and watch the Lakers play. I mean, something just spells cool about that.
Like Larry David?
Yeah.
Trip Shack?
I mean, seriously, what's cooler, and maybe if Jack Nicholson made it cool, and conversely, Spike Lee in New York. Wouldn't you like to go sit next to Spike Lee at a Knicks game at the Garden?
Yeah.
Or sit next to Jack Nicholson at the Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena, which still, I have a hard time saying, and watch the Lakers play? We'll get into some Lakers talk. What did happen to Jack Nicholson, by the way? Does he not go to the games anymore?
They stink.
Yeah.
They stink. They stink. They stink. And it's just been so much internal. We'll get into it, I guess.
And you and I are watching Showtime. We're watching Winning Time. We're watching how it started.
Yeah, we're watching how it started.
Yeah.
I think it's just so much internal makeup that has made them bad. I mean, if you're Jack Nicholson and you've been going for years, you cheering for years, and you watch them go up and down, and come back and then go down, and you watch Kobe retire, then you see LeBron's coming and Magic Johnson's the president, you're like, all right, maybe a chance. I guarantee you, when he saw Magic leave as a president after, 5 games, I think Jack was like, you know what?
And that's kind of like, didn't they do that to Spike Lee? Didn't James Dolan take away Spike Lee's entrance?
His VIP entrance.
Go through the VIP
And he threw Charles Oakley out.
Yeah. I mean, what a gem that James Dolan is, isn't he?
He is a freaking beauty.
Yeah,
is there anywhere you would like to go that you haven't been yet or played in?
He probably
or anything
sat
like
with Jack.
I know.
I actually have sat behind Jack 3 times.
Really?
I was there when the Lakers lost to OKC. I was there when the Lakers lost to the Mavs. I guess I was a bad luck charm. I was there when they lost to the Mavs, and I was there when they lost to the Celtics the first time. So,
what's it like being a professional athlete, going to watch another professional athlete play? Like, are you like, oh, I could do
Look
that?
at Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there aren't levels of that. I mean, I think when you go to Lakers game, it's like you realize that. I think for football players, for the most part, until now the money is starting to match up a little bit. So the celebrity of the football player has taken on a new form. I think celebrities in football, they're up there now. They're mentioned with the best of them. Beforehand, the Cowboys going to the game, you realize, people don't know us.
Right.
They don't know us.
Because you got a helmet on.
Very true. But it's fun. You still watch it. It's just admiration. I think when you go to any sporting event as a pro athlete, you go to another person's sport and kind of enjoy and watch. You just realize that, you know what, I'm a pro at what I do, and that's it. Now, they're pros and nothing. You can't be that.
They love their Detroit. We love our Detroit athletes.
Yeah.
If they showed a Little Caesars Arena, if the Tigers go on over there,
oh sure,
they show them.
No doubt.
It's a great thing. It's fun to see them in there.
And the reason I asked Braylon that question is because I feel like people out there may laugh, but if I went to like a Jimmy Kimmel or a Jimmy Fallon or something like that, now I'm not that big of a comedian, but I feel like I could do that job.
I think so.
I feel like I could.
I know so.
I feel like I could stand up for 10 minutes, 8 for really like 6 to 7 minutes. Yeah. Read the prompter, some jokes that are written for you, practice them and deliver them perfect, and then interview somebody. I interview people for a living. Like that's my job. Like interviewing somebody is something that I can do in my sleep. I'm a very curious person to begin with.
I know what I figured mine out. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So again, the reason why I asked you if you could go watch a professional athlete play and be like, I could do that better or something like that, is because I kind of feel like there's one aspect of my life where if I went to a show like that, I'd be like, that's so easy. I could do that.
Yeah, no, you're damn good at what you do, and I know that you could do that. But you're talking about being a professional football player and then going and watch Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. No part of me is going to say, man, I can shoot like that, because I'd be lying. You can't go to hockey and watch what Austin Matthews is doing up in Toronto. He's on his way to 60 goals this year with 11 games. I can't do that. Right. I can't get on the ice and do what Mo Sider does and Lucas Raymond. I just can't do. Baseball is the only sport where I go watch the games and I'm like, I could do that.
Right. That's a regret. You'd be like,
that's
oh man, I should have played baseball.
My dad made me choose sophomore year of high school, and I should have chose baseball.
You didn't choose wrong.
The favorite part of me when I went to Wrigley was just sitting. I got my seat under Harry Carey's press box.
Really?
Because I just wanted to see Harry Carey and do that 7th inning stretch.
Right.
To me, I didn't even give a damn about the game. I just wanted to see Harry Carey.
That was the city that I was thinking I would have wanted to catch a game, just the wrong team. The Bulls in the 90s.
There you go.
Hey, guys, if you could be so kind, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash that like button for us. It helps YouTube get our content out. Thank you very much for doing so. 22.7 thousand subscribers, coming up on 23,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Very good. Okay, guys, I teased the story long enough. We'll get to it next. Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk really putting out there a rumor as to perhaps one of the reasons why Jim Harbaugh did not get that Vikings job that he so thought he had as a slam dunk. So we'll talk about it next. You might be surprised, you might not be. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see the black and yellow sign out in front of your house. It tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay
out.
That's what it tells the bad guys. Yep, a good defense for your home or your business. State-of-the-art technology, 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights and temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call that number above my head right now. It is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Get out of here. 1-800-STAY-OUT. You're out. You're out.
I would have been a good umpire. I would have been a really good umpire.
No, you wouldn't have.
I would have, because I
No,
would have been
you would
like
be yelling at the people.
I would have. Well, good for them. They got to. But see, I wouldn't throw anybody out though.
Right.
I would just keep getting back with them. That's what I do. Keep them in the game. Give them some attitude. Let them play. Because I love passion. It takes passion in this.
I was talking about the people
realm
in the
of sports.
stands.
Oh, now I throw all them out.
Exactly.
I would throw all of them out.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, let me get to this story here because I thought it was rather interesting. Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, and you may have read it on Freep.com, but Freep picked up Florio's story about it. So this is, I'm just going to read this for you. So Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, when Harbaugh interviewed to become the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, he brought up the possibility of bringing Kaepernick in as quarterback coach if and when he decided to abandon his desire to play. Harbaugh coached Kaepernick on the San Francisco 49ers from 2011 to 2014. As Florio writes, some wonder whether that was part of the reason that Harbaugh was not selected for the Vikings position, a vacancy that eventually was filled by Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. Was this decision because of his loyalty to a former player and his desire to bring him into the organization? Now, here's the question. Here's where it gets a little dicey. That same report says Harbaugh did not mention considering Kaepernick as an on-field option at quarterback. Florio continues to say that the reason Harbaugh wasn't selected for this head coaching job, quote, was for reasons completely unrelated to his views on Kaepernick. So I've got a couple of questions on this one. Why float it out there if then at the end of the story you're just going to say, I heard somebody else say that wasn't the case at all?
Yeah, I just think it's one of those situations you feel you look. Let me slow it down. You talking about Florio, or are we talking about the freak for picking
Florio.
it up?
Clicks.
You got to pick it up. You got to pick it up.
It's clickbait. You know, you pick on it, you say, hey, I wonder if, because at the end of the day, most rumors have the potential to be true. And if it is true, and you find out it's true, then look what you go back to. Well, Brian Florio said back in April that blah, 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 blah. So you drop rumors that have the potential to be true. But I don't believe this one to be true. I've never seen, let me take a step back. Why would this even come up in an interview with the Vikings and Jim Harbaugh? Why would that even come up?
Well, it would come up if Jim Harbaugh chose to, in an interview process, to ask the organization's stance on Colin Kaepernick.
Or what's his name? The quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Or Kirk Cousins,
Yeah.
or anybody that, you know, if you can't, let's just do this. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's a good example or not, but if I had a job opportunity somewhere and somebody was, I would say, well, you know what? What's your thoughts on Braylon Edwards? Because I probably wouldn't do this job without Braylon Edwards. You know, I mean, and that's a
Yeah, but the reason why I asked if I get where you're going, but the reason why I asked why, because ultimately I don't think this ever came up. I think this is a farce. I think this is someone trying to give Jim Harbaugh some credit that he does not deserve, and they're just playing on something that's consistent right now. Well, Colin Kaepernick, it's a hot button topic right now. The reason why I say that is Colin Kaepernick hadn't been in the league for 6 years or 5 years. Why are we even talking about Colin Kaepernick? And it would not have come up. No one would have asked that question. Because Jim Harbaugh isn't someone that necessarily overly talked about Colin Kaepernick, that overly came out in support about Colin Kaepernick, has mentioned it before in meaning. So they had no reason to think that Jim Harbaugh would be wanting to bring him in. And even if you bring him in for an interview, that would stop you from getting a head coaching job.
Well, I don't know. You know what I mean? That we don't know, because why isn't Colin Kaepernick in the NFL right now to begin with? I think that's there's two questions there. But I would say, Braylon, if you're Jim Harbaugh, maybe you do have a relationship with Colin Kaepernick that is, I don't want to say secretive, but just isn't as public. I mean, I think it was kind of, you think about all the great players in University of Michigan football history, and you chose him to be the honorary captain on the Michigan spring game, which opened up a lot of eyes into their relationship, how close they were, what Harbaugh means to Kaepernick, what Kaepernick means to Harbaugh. I don't think it's just totally, why would this come up? I mean, why would Kaepernick be the captain of Michigan spring game?
Because everybody, let me stop back. For Colin Kaepernick to be, I don't have a problem with him being the honorary captain at spring game. I have no problem with that at all. I actually stand with Cap when he took a knee, so I don't have a problem with that at all. The reason why you would have a Colin Kaepernick come into there and be the opening day, not opening day. I'm excited for opening day, can you tell? But to be the honorary captain and to have a throwing situation at halftime, it's because it's about recruiting. It's about recruiting. And we talked about this earlier in the show. The majority of the kids that play professional football, play college football, et cetera, they're black. So now you support Colin Kaepernick. You come out and support him. It's a good look. Not to mention, it's a good look for Colin Kaepernick, too. Everybody wins in that situation. I asked that question about the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think that question ever comes up because there's no reason for it to come up. Jim Harbaugh is trying to get a job on his own. He's trying to sell himself to get a job with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, if this is something that he wants to do later on, you wait till you get a job to bring that up. You don't have to bring that up in a job interview, and you won't. You get the job. You're the coach. You can bring in whoever the hell you want to, except maybe Colin Kaepernick. But that's a conversation when you are the job of the Minnesota Vikings. That's not a conversation in an interview.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, it's something to talk about.
Yeah.
It's something to talk about. He didn't get the job, and a lot of people made fun of him, saying, he was a weirdo. People did, that's one of the reasons that he didn't get interviewed all these other years. People think he's a weirdo, and he kind of, he goes to the beat of his own drum. We all know that
he's quirky. That is that is the nice way that people have said for the last however many years that he's a weirdo. They said he's quirky, which he is.
Maybe that don't go in the NFL.
Well, what I think about that, I haven't interviewed Jim Harbaugh. I just look at success. Typically, the guys that come into the NFL, those guys are younger, they have success. Matt Rule is still an enigma for me. I don't know how he got a job. But with the whole Jim Harbaugh situation in the NFL, I think they brought him in, they interviewed him, and they just didn't like how he fit necessarily this 2022 model of what they were trying to do with Kevin O'Connell, who's a young coach, 34. I don't think he fit into that window. I don't think he fit into this new NFL that we loved so much when everybody's saying, oh, did you see that game last year? Did you see this? Do you see all these young coaches? All these. Well,
he doesn't look like Sean McVay.
He doesn't look like these guys. He's not that age. He doesn't have a say.
Matt LaFleur.
That's not how his teams are constructed. That's not how his teams are played. So with that being said, I don't think he got the job. Just purely because I don't think he looked like what they were looking for in 2022.
But can you imagine 9 wealthy people who think their crap doesn't stink to be sitting in a room and have Jim? I don't know. I disagree with you on that. We might just have to agree to disagree, because I do think Jim Harbaugh may have been asked his stance on Colin Kaepernick, or he has always secretly kind of had this deal with Kaepernick. I'll get you back in the league. If I was ever back in the NFL, I'll sign you for a tryout or something like that. And I don't think it's that crazy to assume that Jim Harbaugh came to Minnesota with the thought that he was going to get that job. And then on the final interview round with 9 of these people that are sitting in a room, he said, yeah, how do you feel about Colin Kaepernick? Well, I plan on bringing him here. Do you?
I don't see that because I've never seen any. And to your point, you don't know about the public or the private relationship, et cetera, et cetera. I know Colin been out of the league 6 years, and Jim Harbaugh has had opportunity. He's had people. He knows people. And this is the first we're hearing about it. No 9 millionaires or billionaires, excuse me, they're in a situation. They want to hire a guy to start the team and say, hey, last thing. What about Colin Kaepernick? It wouldn't have never come up because all you're essentially talking about is a tryout. To give the person a tryout. You're not talking about, hey, by the way, I'm bringing Cap in as my quarterback and we're going to pay him X, Y, and Z. I just
kind of like though that
we forgot they even had a connection until he was announced the honorary captain, which means
absolutely
the Vikings. This would have been the last thing they would have been thinking of.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But again, if you look at what Urban Meyer did for his former quarterback in Tim Tebow, bringing him in for a tryout, I mean,
it's a good take. It's good.
That's a good one, too. But when you have guys in college, when you're a college coach and you have guys, they're like your kids. Those guys become like your kids. Everybody that Urban had, especially Tebow, those are like your sons. 4 years, 5 years, blood, sweat, and tears, national championship. That's a different thing than the NFL. It's come and go. Considering Trent Baalke was the one who drafted Colin Kaepernick originally, not even Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. I want to go around the NFL next. There's some guys getting paid. Tyrann Mathieu still needs a team. DK Metcalf potentially out there, 24-year-old. What would it take to get him to anywhere? And what would it take to get him for the Lions? And Stefon Diggs getting paid. We got a lot to get to on a Wednesday. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Hey, everybody. Opening day now just 2 days away. Please, rain, go away. Please. They've already canceled the Yankees and Mets for a day. Don't cancel our Tigers. We're going to be down there, wet or dry. The whole team at Woodward Sports. The first real opening day in 3 years. Come on down to see us. The Morning Woodward Show starts it off 8 a.m. at the Brass Rail, followed by Big D Energy. They'll be at the Music Hall Amphitheater right outside the Music Hall, where they're going to have a keg holding competition, live DJs, and plenty more than we, the bottom line, Ermanni and Edwards and the gang. We're going to be at the Brass Rail between 2 and 4. So come on down and see us, eat some pizza, get some drinks on, have some fun. We're going to be all over it. We're covering this thing left and right. It's Woodward Sports opening day for the Tigers and White Sox.
I come on here every day and I talk about Gypsy Vodka. 5 days a week I talk about Gypsy Vodka. I'm drinking Gypsy Vodka 5 days a week. But that 1 week, that one day I do drink it, it tastes smooth. You know why it's smooth? Because it's corn distilled using six times, buddy. 6 times.
6 times?
6 times using corn.
My goodness.
This corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. Stuff's amazing. 50 formulas went into making. Also, it's adaptable. You can use it with guava juice. You can use it with mango juice. You can use it with lemonade. You can use it with tonic. You can use it with, what did I have it with? It was really good. Grapefruit juice.
Ooh,
grapefruit juice. It was very smooth. Adaptable, pure, and 50 formulas went in to make it. Go down to your liquor store and ask for it by name. Gypsy Vodka, Michigan's only gluten-free vodka. And if you're going to
drink responsibly. Always. Ermanni and Edwards, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazawey. We've got Sam Reynolds. We've got Alex Mayer. How you fellas doing today? Checking in with you guys today.
Oh, I'm doing great. I mean, doesn't look very nice outside, but still we're trucking along. We're putting on a great show for the audience, and let's keep it going. So far, so good, right?
Alex Mayer.
Love that.
struggling. The allergies are getting to me. It's already beginning.
Are we
I'm in
sure
misery.
it's allergies and not COVID-19?
Oh, bring
It's
on
not
COVID.
COVID. No.
Oh, okay,
Bring
just
it
making
on.
sure. I will tell you,
Still exists. It's a real thing, I think.
One of the
COVID.
things I hate to do, and I'm sure people out there can relate to this. Before we get to the NFL, I hate paying for parking when you're going to work.
Yeah.
Right. So in Birmingham here, everywhere is pay to park.
There's a few secret spots.
There's a few secret spots, and if you don't get one of the
Like
few
that one in the front right there.
right. If you,
That's me, by the way.
If you don't get one of the spots in front that we like to keep open for the Lady Jane's customers,
Well, there's
or the
some up the
Birmingham
street.
roast, there's some up the street as well,
Across the
down
street.
down by the bank. You got to go to the garage. You got to pay to park. Well, there is a couple of spots directly across the street, across Woodward here.
AAA.
And
But you got to play Frogger.
Oh my gosh, you got to be out there. You're dodging traffic, and sometimes you just don't want to dodge traffic.
6 lanes of traffic.
Today, I was like, you know what? I am not putting my credit card in that garage because this parking garage in Birmingham, whatever it's called, is the worst parking garage
The worst.
in the history of parking garages, because it's one of those where you put your card, you don't press a button and take a ticket. You put your card in.
And your card is the ticket.
And then it essentially, then you put your card out when you leave, and it will tell you how much you owe. Well, this machine, you could put it in 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
And the thing won't go up. And then you got guys sitting in there putting it the other way. And the thing won't go up. So before you know it, you've got a line of cars down, is it Brown Street?
Brown Street, yeah.
Down Brown Street to get in.
And you look like an idiot.
And you look like an idiot. And then the one guy finally gets in. So then the next guy goes.
Same process.
And he's putting his card in that damn
How
machine.
about when you got to leave?
He's putting his card in that damn machine.
When you got to leave, there's a line because you can't pay to get out either.
Yes.
So a couple of times, if you wait like an extra if you go 2 hours, it's free. 3 hours, it's like $3. $2, and it goes up and up. So there's a couple of times I park in there, and I'm like, okay, if I don't get out of here in the next 3 minutes, they're going to charge me another $3 on top of that.
And then you're waiting in
And
the
you're
line.
waiting, and I'm waiting.
Because the guy in front of you can't get
his ticket.
It is miserable. So, moral of the story, Braylon.
I was going to add to that. I like that. Talk about the parking garage. I can complain about it too.
I want you to. Moral of the story, because the line was so long on Brown Street and I wanted to get inside the building because I had a couple of things to do today.
Yep.
I parked across the street today, and I did the Frogger across Woodward, and now it's pouring outside.
Yeah.
It is pouring outside. So this is just the kind of day it is for me. Just the way it's been going for me today. And if you didn't catch Braylon off the top, but he said, you know what? This is what we do. We're going to put a happy face on, and we're going to do the show today. So that's what we're doing. But this rain, in combination with me parking across the street, is just the way my day's going today.
I don't necessarily mind the parking lot in terms of the pay because it's not, it's never more than like $5. I don't mind that, although I don't park in there. The reason why I don't is because the second thing you said in terms of the card and the sticking thing out, the other part of that car adding to it, one, they need a chip reader. They don't have a chip reader. Chip reader makes things faster. Those card things, they never work. Slide in, slide out, slide in, slide out. Because the strip gets demagnetized. The other part of that is they do have that emergency button that you're supposed to call where somebody's supposed to pick up, somebody's supposed to let you out or figure it out. They never answer that phone. And the worst thing about that parking is the way in which it's constructed. The spots are too tight. They need to put a sign up there that says if you driving, especially what you drive, Big Bertha, if you drive anything in the Escalade range, the Navigator range, like those ranges, you're not going to fit in there, man. Those spikes are too tight. You got to come around here. They're badly constructed.
The Fisher Building garage, where I parked for 10 years in downtown when I worked at WJR, that place will give you nightmares. So when you're used to working there, I'd zip around, no problem. But you're going around and around and around to the top of the roof. That one will top this one in Birmingham.
Well, how about that parking underground that we used to do, Maz?
You mean where you fell on your ass last year?
Are you talking about during a tin roof?
Tin roof.
Do you remember when you fell?
No, I don't remember when I fell.
You don't?
You're making stuff
You
up.
fell.
Did I fall?
Yeah. You went back to the garage to get something out of your car, and you slipped on the steps.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He put your business out here, didn't he?
Oh, my
Got you looking like a
gosh.
klutz out here.
But that parking garage, it's not a garage. It's underneath.
It's ugly.
Oh, man.
It
I was
smells.
scared. I was a little claustrophobic, too,
Yeah.
because you can't figure out how to get out of there.
You just go to the other side.
Well, now we know, but, I'm claustrophobic, so I don't see any doors. If I don't see any doors, I am totally no good to you.
Don't get
or
an
you
MRI
or
then.
anybody.
It is an interesting space, though, because you go in, you go down right under tin roof, and then you go up, and you're thinking you're going to be right there. And you go up, you're like on the other side of the street. Like you're literally on the other side of the park. Now you got to come from around the park and then across the street. It is interesting once you come up, though.
So
very interesting.
And as you go downtown now,
And it
right?
costs $50.
Many
Jesus
people
Christ.
will be going down to opening day and parking in these parking garages, whether it's
$50.
whether it's the Tigers garage, the United Wholesale Mortgage garage. It seems like there's so many garages going up for parking now.
That's District Detroit.
And all of these parking garages now use that card reader in. There's no people anymore. There's no human beings anymore to take cash from you, to take a ticket from you. It is all that card reader. And I went to Disney on Ice a couple of weeks ago with the kids. And I didn't think, we were an hour early. I didn't think I was going to make it for the start of the show.
Terrible.
Because of these people who don't understand.
Yeah.
They see the picture of which way to put the card into the machine.
Still go opposite.
And they still do it wrong. And then when they do it right, it doesn't open up.
I'm 50-50 with missing the people, and I tell you why. 50%, yes, everything you say, that made it so much easier. But when you have people, part of it is good, part of it is bad. When you have people, sometimes you're having a bad day.
And they're grouchy, too.
Well, that's okay. I guess I'll go that way. Sometimes you're having a bad day and they make it worse. So sometimes you're having a good day and these people are just mean.
Yeah.
And they're mad at you because they chose to be a parking attendant.
Yeah.
It's like TSA and cab drivers. Don't get mad at me. I did not tell you to be a TSA agent or a cab. Don't be mad at me. But on the other side of that, though, sometimes, man, you have one of those moments, man, you just had that wonderful older, chipper lady.
Yes.
Or you have that wonderful Tom Mazawey sitting on the other side. Like the other parking lot that's next door to it, there is an attendant, and guess who works there? That's Aiden Hutchinson's grandfather.
Right, you were telling us about that.
That's his grandfather that works at this one, and he's always polite to talk to. He's always someone where you're like, oh, hey. He said, hey, friend, how you doing? How's the Lord been treating you? Oh, you know what?
Oh, man,
I'm
we need
alive.
the
I'm
Lord
doing
now
okay.
more than
So
ever.
that's why I say, like, sometimes it's good to have them, sometimes it's not.
I got to get down at Little Caesars early today. I'm picking up Maddie and her friend from soccer, which is getting rained out at Bishop Foley.
Oh, man.
And I'm going to take them to the Pistons game today.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Is that why you're wearing your pullover today,
That's why
Maz?
I'm wearing my Pistons today.
I love
There you
it. We love it. Good. Okay, guys. Sorry about that parking garage topic. I just was thinking about it with the rain. And
I don't blame you.
yeah, it's very good. NFL news and notes next. We'll get into all of it. Ryan
Lions, too.
Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, bottom line.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You asked for it and we listened. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
All right, Stick. Good one. How about this? MyBookie.ag. That's where I put my sports wagering in. I think you should as well. Easy interface. I have it right on my phone. Home screen. Just got to touch it. You sign in, and you're off to the races. You can bet the races as well. MyBookie.ag. And, of course, use the promo code Woodward. That's right. Woodward will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. That's free money that goes right into your account. You got the baseball futures. Tigers sitting at 78.5 wins. They won 77 last year. So where you going to go? Now they picked up Austin Meadows. So we'll see how that goes. Get on there. How about the football futures? Lions sitting at 6.5, maybe 7. Depends where you do your shopping. MyBookie.ag. Woodward is your promo code. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
I love how you talk about it. Like you do your shopping. Shop for the best line. Look at Maz. Hey, I want to tell you about Wingstop. Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. That's right. Wingstop has the best traditional wings. Try out signature sauces. Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. You know that's Braylon and I's favorite. Woo! Thanks for putting me onto that, Braylon.
Yes,
wings
sir.
are tossed to perfection in any sauce you pick. That buffalo pretty good, too. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online. Find a location near you. Wingstop.com. Wingstop.com. We just have better wings.
I have a friend that says something funny all the time. Yeah, all these people, like after you did your MyBookie read, you say, if you have a problem gambling, you got to read the hotline number. And they pretty much say that on all the...
What's that
Or
number?
just don't do it.
Man, look, I'm blind like Ray Charles. I ain't seen nothing.
Or
I ain't
just
seen nothing.
Can't
Don't
Stevie get a peek?
Do it.
Hey, that was it. That was Stevie Wonder.
Can't
No,
Stevie
but-
get a peek?
But you say this all the time, and everyone says, whether it's the radio, whether you're watching TV, whether watching your Mavs and watching the Bottom Line or Woodward Sports Network, which you always should be watching or listening to. My boy says, I don't have a problem gambling. I just have a problem picking the wrong teams.
There you go. That's it.
I know a couple of guys from back in the day. I've got a lot of friends, okay?
That's the habitat.
I got the same friend.
This guy says, we'll call him Tom for Tom Mazawey. We'll call him Tom. Tom says, I don't have a problem gambling. My wife has a problem with my gambling.
There it is.
No, I don't have a problem gambling. My wife has a problem with me gambling.
That sounds about right.
Right? It's so funny. That is just the greatest thing in the
That's
world,
some good
I
stuff
think.
right there, man.
Gary Woodland? Yeah, how about that? Part 3 today here at the Masters gets going tomorrow. We'll talk Tiger Woods.
Have you seen the Tiger Gallery?
For the practice round.
It looks like when he was winning on 18 2 years ago. It looks the same.
Think about it. Oh, no, I'll let you take it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You don't, like, literally, Tiger's only playing 4 majors a year now. And maybe the Genesis, which is his actual outing, his event. So maybe 5. You don't know if he's going to play this year. I mean, this event. You didn't know coming into this. We know he's going to play for sure now. And even that's not a guarantee, but he's going to play. So you don't know how many more times Tiger's going to play. I get why it looks like that.
And you have no idea how long it's going to hold up. He may not last till tomorrow.
Right.
He might never play again. Every time Tiger Woods takes the course,
Could be.
He may never play again.
Until the next time.
But that's just the wear and tear of his body.
Right.
And ultimately, maybe his leg gives out. His leg was nearly amputated
He's got
a year
rods
ago.
and bars and screws in it.
You just don't know when the last time is. So I think if we all had an opportunity to see Muhammad Ali box one more time, or to see Mike
kept going for
Tyson
a
box
while.
one more time,
Yeah.
or to see Michael Jordan play a basketball game one time.
You just answered your own question. Remember, was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. We did get a chance to see Mike Tyson fight one more time. Did you see how many tickets they sold for that event on Triller? I think it was on Triller. Triller was the company that aired the fight. They did tremendous numbers. He made a tremendous amount of money because Mike still has that lure.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I never know when we're getting another chance to see Mike Tyson fight. Hey, Mike
That's
Tyson's
a great
fighting
point.
Roy Jones Jr. Hey, you know what? I'm on it. Let me pay $50 or $60 or $70 million. That's the same thing you're saying with those people out there that are there on the practice round. You never know when you get another opportunity to see
They paid some money, too, today.
Yeah.
They paid some money. He
Yeah.
tees off, supposedly, 10:34 tomorrow.
And by the way, the tickets for Thursday more expensive than the tickets to Sunday.
Well, there you go. They don't
Because
think
they don't think
maybe
he's
you
gonna
don't
make
make
it.
the cut.
They just don't know if he's going to make the
Right.
cut or
Yeah.
not, right? I mean, that's what it is.
What's his odds? Plus 4,000 to
Plus
win?
40 to 1. I think 40
Yeah.
to 1.
That's worth $10.
Why not?
Right.
Absolutely. Keep you interested in watching. Tiger's the most bet on player,
course.
obviously,
Yeah,
and
of
he
course.
is every week. Phil Mickelson, just another news and notes about the golf. Phil Mickelson did get an invitation to play in the Masters, but he
Well, he's a former Masters champ.
3 times.
3 times.
But he declined to play in the Masters. Didn't want to be a distraction this week, and probably doesn't want to answer any questions
Right.
about.
That's what it is. It's not the first.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Phil's not the kind of guy to decline just because he's declining. Phil's only declining because he doesn't have the words. He
Right.
doesn't have the conversation yet to be able to sit down and talk about the words that he used when talking about the Saudi Arabia Open versus the PGA. He don't have those words yet. You can't go in public. You can't go in front of cameras when your words haven't been scripted out well.
I'll tell you, he's the second most popular golfer to me to want to watch. I want to watch Tiger, and then I like watching Phil.
Yeah, me too.
I do.
Right. And another guy I like watching for whatever reason is Bubba Watson. I don't know why. Man. Maybe it's the stroke.
Unorthodox.
Maybe it's the visor that he wears.
Taught himself how to play golf.
Something about it.
I like Gretzky's guy.
Dustin Johnson, DJ.
Because I get to see
Dustin can blast
Paulina.
the ball. His short game destroys me, man. Dustin Johnson. And once again, you talked about
We got a problem with your camera today, by the way. I keep seeing is it he freezing or am I on crack?
He's freezing.
He's freezing. Okay, I just want to make sure.
No,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I keep looking up at the screen instead of looking at you, but I keep looking up at the screen and I notice you're freezing, and it's very distracting to me.
Yeah, the funny
look
thing,
at the YouTube
you
track.
asked me about being an athlete, going to see other athletes playing. Like, do you feel like, hey, you can do that? Or golf is another sport, and I know that everybody's going to go crazy. Like, what? I play golf. Everybody thinks they play golf. I play golf. Play a bit of golf. Golfers' short games drive me insane. Because you legitimately tell yourself, it's a 5-foot putt. How does he miss that? It's a 7-foot putt. How does he miss that? It's like watching professional basketball players shoot free throws. And Dustin Johnson is a guy like that. His short game drove me nuts for years because he's a long ball driver, because he's 6'4", gets the ball out there tremendously. He's usually on or close to on 2-3 every time, whether it's a 5. But his short game was terrible until you play in one of those. I had a chance to putt in a couple AM. What do you call it? AM? Pro-ams? AMs. I had to play
Well, usually they are in the morning.
This is true. We tee off in the afternoon. Playing in a couple of those Pro-Ams, it's a lot different when you got the crowds and the eyes on you. You're watching. You're trying to make a 3-foot putt. Looks like a 30-foot putt.
Right? My goodness. Guys, I think this is one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard in my life, but the NFL apparently wants flag football in the 2028 Olympics. This is from Jabari Young of CNBC. Pro Football Talk on Twitter writes, Jabari Young of CNBC.com says the NFL wants to get football into the every 4-year worldwide competition. The goal is to make flag football part of the Olympics. Now, this doesn't say that they want the NFL players involved, or does it? I'm a little confused by this because does the NFL as a shield want football in the Olympics, or does the NFL shield want NFL players in for flag football? Because I don't know an NFL player, no offense to the country, who would want to do this. Why would you risk multi-millions of dollars several times over? Why would you risk the financial future of generations of your family, not for some medal? And no offense,
no NFL player will want to do this. The last time I saw the what did they used to do? They used to do that at the Pro Bowl. And then remember the running back for the New England Patriots, Robert Edwards?
I do.
Went out there,
tore
his ACL up in
doing
that sand.
those games,
Guess
too.
what? Never did it again.
Wasn't that in the sand? Wasn't that on the beach?
Yeah,
it was
he
in the
never
sand.
played again, did
The
he?
reason why all other sports enlist their pros, obviously the NBA, you saw, I mean, they finally said, you know, we're tired of getting our ass whooped. That's why. When you are going against the other countries in the world, you want to prove that your country is best at that particular sport. That's why we started doing NBA players. That's why our golfers play, our tennis players play, etc. There's no competition in the world for professional football. Like, we know we're the best professional football players in the world, so there's no reason for those guys, our guys, to go over there to try to compete, to prove that we're the best athletes in football. It's dumb.
How about that kid from the CFL yesterday that we saw do the backflip with the dumbbell?
Sign him
with
up.
the barbell.
Canada's going to be good.
That's what I'm saying. You get players
from
like
here,
that.
though.
How about the kids that play in the USFL, the XFL? You got players out there that would play.
Yeah, no.
But it won't have the NFL logo on it.
You absolutely would, and there would be a market for it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. But what I'm saying is there's no NFL. So I know the NFL wants football involved in the Olympics in some way, but there's no way the NFL wants
usually through track.
Yeah, right. The NFL would not allow their players to participate in that.
Yeah,
I
no.
can't imagine they would they?
The NFL has something in all your contracts where when you sign a contract in the NFL, one of the pieces of the contractual language is typically in everybody's contract. Now, this is obviously up to a franchise, but all franchises do the same thing. No extreme sports. This means you're skateboarding. This means you're surfing. This means you're motorcycles. This means skiing and snowboarding. This means playing flag football in the sand overseas in the Olympics. If you are to get hurt in one of these exercises, we used to have a family ski trip that we used to take to Aspen. I wouldn't ski because if I got hurt skiing, they could void my contract. You saw what happened to Monte Ellis with the Golden State Warriors. Remember, they sued him to get the money back because he almost tore his ankle off. Jay Williams is another guy with the Bulls.
Yep.
He never played again.
Motorcycle accident.
Voided his contract. Bobby Hurley got into a major. So situations like that, these guys, you won't be able to play. And it's not like something you can hide. If I go sneaking in Aspen and I hide that I'm skiing and pictures come out, well, you never knew I went. And you don't know. Well, if you're watching on NBC, everybody knows that you were in the flag football game in the Olympics in 2028. So.
DeAndre Levy didn't give a damn. He was flying outside of airplanes.
Yeah.
That guy was wow.
Well,
That's daredevil stuff.
Flying outside of an airplane, that could just kill you. You're probably not going to get hurt. Like, you're not going to end a career. You can end your life.
Yeah.
You know, like riding a motorcycle or something like that. And I understand you can end your life doing that too, but, you know, my goodness, you're looking at an injury
versus death.
Mike G wants to know if Team USA will take Jeff Okudah off our hands.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta tell Mike G, man.
Hey, man.
You just never
How about
know.
the old guys? How about the retired football players playing?
We know one guy that wants to play.
Okay.
T.O.
There you go.
T.O. wants to play.
Let's do that.
Get him a tryout.
We will watch it. Anything that comes on during the Olympics, we watch. So, I mean, if you want to add this event, guess what? We're going to watch.
This has been the greatest NFL offseason in recent history.
Especially if you're
the
wide
one
receiver.
that I can remember. Stefon Diggs signed a big-time contract today with the Bills, and DK Metcalf, his name is in the news a lot. 2 questions about DK Metcalf. 1, will he be on the Seattle Seahawks week 1 next year? And 2, what will it take to get him if he's not? We'll talk about both those things next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network.
And Rod Beard is with us.
Rod Beard is with us. Can't wait to talk about him.
We'll get his perspective on the Lions.
And the Lakers.
Let's do it, man. He was really right earlier. Ermanni and Edwards.
Does he want DK Metcalf? We'll ask him next.
Does LeBron want him?
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues surrounding mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stance against these issues. I now have been working with Sean in the space of marketing, sports marketing agency, going to speak around the state of Michigan, also helping him do some work with the Oakland Health Athletic Initiative Club, and also Detroit Wayne Health Initiative Club, and it's just made so much sense to me. Coming out of retiring in the NFL, you don't know where you go, you don't know what you want to do, you tend to have some issues, you get down, you get depressed, you have anxiety, but I found new purpose in working with this, and I found purpose for myself and my family. So I am a testament of that. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com, and check out Sports Marketing Agency Podcast. This is the F word, and the F word is fentanyl.
Really excited to bring this guy on, and I have an old title on this sheet for Rod Beard.
I had to put it on one last time.
But he's not.
Yeah, he still is.
Is he
still?
still?
Till the end of the season.
Well, guess what? We can ask him.
Rod Beard, the Detroit Pistons beat writer for a couple of more games until he takes on a more prominent role with the Detroit News. Rod Beard, do we have you on?
Yeah, he's a big shot now.
We do not have Rod Beard on.
Swing and a miss. Oh, go in the hole.
So is he not with us, or he's
with us?
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that.
I misunderstood you, Alex.
We'll get to Rod Beard in a minute. All right, gang. We'll get to Rod Beard in a minute. But in the meantime, let me go back to this DK Metcalf story, okay? Because I'm really curious about this DK Metcalf. Here's a 24-year-old player that is really good. We did see him kind of, I don't want to say fall out of favor in Seattle, but for whatever reason, Russell Wilson didn't throw him the ball a couple of times. You're looking at, Braylon, explain this to me. When you're a player as imposing as DK Metcalf, and you're in a situation where the Seattle Seahawks need a first down or you need a touchdown or you need something, why don't you just throw the ball to DK Metcalf? So many times I've seen Seattle not go his way on certain possessions.
Not speaking from a depth of knowledge about it, this would just be making an assumption. If you look at what the Seattle Seahawks have typically had at the wide receiver position, none of their wide receivers or players are typically, major first-round draft picks or major personalities or thing like that. Sidney Rice. Sidney Rice was at the end of his career when he got to Seattle. I was at the end of my career when I got to Seattle. Doug Baldwin, who ended up being a perennial Pro Bowler, Doug Baldwin wasn't even drafted. Mm-hmm. He wasn't free agent. Tyler Lockett, it's another guy, just a late draft pick. You look at Javon Kearse, big-time player for Seattle. Another one of those guys, not a big personality, also not drafted. You look at even Russell Wilson, second-round draft pick to some extent. DK is a huge personality. Like, DK is a personality out there, man. And he's a stud, and he lets you know on the field and off the field. He's kind of that, we'll point to and tell you if he was open. He's a guy, hey, man, come to me and do that. And I don't think Russell's ever had that. I don't think they've ever seen that personality at the wide receiver position, and I don't think they're comfortable with it per se. Now there's a chance for them to adapt and get used to it if they don't want to get rid of him and trade him because they know how good he is on that field. But that's one thing I could see is they've never had that, and maybe it might not be comfortable for them.
Remember Pete Carroll, the interview?
Yeah.
He took his shirt off.
Right.
When the interview, yeah. I love DK Metcalf. I was a Seahawk guy. I love rooting for that team. I'd welcome him on my team any day.
Well, is he up for grabs? That's one of the rumors that are out there.
The Jets wanted him. He said no.
Teams are calling Seattle about trading for wide receiver DK Metcalf. That's per Ian Rappaport. And then DK Metcalf then quote tweeted that and said, haven't heard anything. Per DK Metcalf 14.
What he doesn't understand.
He's his own source.
That was funny, but what he doesn't understand is these conversations go on all the time. You just may not know about it.
Yeah, and so what would it take? Apparently, the New York Jets tried to trade for him.
They offered him the number 10 pick overall to get him. Seattle turned it down.
That's an incredible number. So you'd be sitting there at 9 and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks for one wide receiver
that you don't use a lot.
I don't know, man. I don't know. He is a 24-year-old stud. What would it take? And
1, 3. I say a 1 and a 3 or 1 and a good and a damn good player. Hey, and Matt said that was going to happen, by the way. A 1 and a 3 or 1 and a very good player. And the reason why I say that, you're looking at 10 in this draft, and you're like, is there anybody in this draft that I'm willing to get up for DK Metcalf per se? Because it's still a guess. It's still a gamble. And that's actually what I wanted to talk about when we talked about DK Metcalf maybe to the Detroit Lions at 32 and what they could potentially give up. I think it's got to be a first and a third. It's got to be a first and a damn good player right now. Because you're looking at the 10. Let's go back to, I guess, to start with pick 10. It's all question marks. We talked about this draft.
Drake London.
But you don't know if he's proven. He's like DK Metcalf is a young, proven stud. Now, you know what the NFL, you know what any draft is, Mass? It's all potential.
Right.
It's all potential. This person has the potential. If you put him in the system, he has the potential to be this. Well, DK Metcalf is that already.
Here's what you have.
And he's still young.
Here's what you have. You've got 5 of the top 97 players in the draft. You've got 2, 32, 34, 66, and 97. What would it take to get DK Metcalf? Because you're not giving up 2. So you would have to do some sort of combination of 32, 34, 66, and 97. 32, 34, 66, 97. What are you giving up? What do you think legitimately, if the number 10 pick isn't getting it done, what would it be? 32, 34? Would you have to give up 32, 34 to get DK Metcalf?
I'm not doing
and
that.
would you be willing to do that? I wouldn't either.
I think you have to be willing enough to give 32 and a third rounder, and then 32 and a really good player. Because I something about having that really good player. Now let's just stick with draft picks. 32, third round pick. 30, maybe 32 this year. Maybe 32 this year, and your third round pick the following year.
32 and 66 this year. I mean, I'm not sure where that lines up, but I almost think it would take 32 and 34 to get DK Metcalf, and I guess I would do it at that spot because, I mean, DK Metcalf is 24 years old. He could be with your franchise for the next 6 to 8 years.
That's only problem too, though, man, is those big wide receivers, the big bulky guys. I was one at one point, but don't last as long as the smaller guys, the shorter guys, the guys get drafted. Like a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, like he'll never be what DK Metcalf is, like as a physical specimen. I guarantee you, Amon-Ra St. Brown plays 4 years longer than DK Metcalf. I would even go 5 or 6. Debo Samuel.
Is he up for grabs?
He's not a tall guy, though. Debo's like a smaller guy, but even that has A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's a guy already.
They're talking about maybe dealing him.
What is his every other week? A.J. Brown, my knee hurts. I was dealing with this year.
He's not reliable.
Taller, bigger receivers, they deal with that. So
I know, but he's not good if he's not playing. You know,
when he plays,
ability is a talent, is a skill.
Availability.
When he plays, he's good for 2 touchdowns a game.
I agree, but are you playing 10 games a year? And I'd have to go back, but it seems like every time I watch the Titans, he's not playing.
He played in that playoff game.
No, he did. He's a great player. I'm not saying he's not.
I'd take him.
Yeah, I know you would. So there's that out there. Stefon Diggs gets 4 years, $104 million from the Bills.
The Saints, Tyrann Mathieu visited New Orleans.
Yeah, so
with the fake money.
The thing about Diggs, another mega deal, says Adam Schefter, who I think I don't know what's more impressive, to be honest with you, the fact that Stefon Diggs got 4 years, $104 million, or the fact that ESPN got Schefter 4 years, $45 million.
And Woj
for $7 million a year. Schefter for $9 million a year. I don't know what's more impressive.
I want to talk about that Stefon Diggs contract because for some reason people don't want to pay wide receivers. They're comfortable with paying a quarterback $500 million, but they're not comfortable with paying a wide receiver who is the guy that person throws to $100 million. So I want to talk about that.
I think that's changed now, Bray.
No, because people are still complaining today. Like even with Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, that one was a little sketchy, but still, I'm cool with that. Now you get Stefon Diggs, and it's like
they're the new running back now.
You said what?
They're the new running back.
They're bigger than running backs.
That's true. That's true, absolutely. Guys, we're going to take a break. 30 seconds from now, we've got Rod Beard on. We'll talk to him next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse. What do you know? Another great day out in Detroit to go to the Folding Warehouse and stay indoors. This is unbelievable, this weather. And this sport is a fun sport. It's like bowling, except you do it with a football. It's been invented by one of our good buddies, Chris Hutt, and his wife, Noni Hutt. Great hosts in Hamtramck. Go tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. A couple of ways to play. $10 unlimited open play, or you can have a private lane reservation for 10 of your closest friends. That costs you 2 hours and $120. Get your food on, have it delivered. You can have a picnic there. They don't mind. Bring your own food in, as a matter of fact. Get your drink on as well. They have over 100 beers to offer, the $2 mystery beer machine, and, of course, multiple full bars. Get your full on. Get it now at thefoldingwarehouse.com.
Guys, really excited to bring this next guest in who had shared some news with the Twitter world and everybody else just a couple of days ago. A promotion Rod Beard at the Detroit News. Rod is going to be the new assistant sports editor at the Detroit News, and he is going to replace himself on the Pistons beat.
He's screwing us.
He has gotten over 4 million applicants for this job. Rod, how are you, buddy? Congratulations, by the way.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me on.
I'm not congratulating you for that job. I'm joking.
I'm pissed.
I'm congratulating you for coming on this show way back in August, and you telling us exactly like it was going to be. You said, Braylon, thing that they're going to have to, not August, but in October, thing you're going to have to realize about the Pistons, it's going to take some time. Killian Hayes dealt with a whole injury. It's going to take him time to get acclimated. You see the summer with Cade Cunningham and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to let you do it because you do it better. Everything you said has come exactly to fruition so far this season.
No, that's absolutely it. Is people had to come in with a clear understanding of what this was. Is they weren't going to be a playoff or even a play-in team this year. They were just going to be a team that tried to develop some of their young guys and see what happened after that.
And the tankathon continues as we are in the top 4 now, and we can put that stat up. What is happening with Detroit? I mean, people want them to lose. They're doing their best, putting these young players in, signing them to 10-day contracts, whatever. And here they are playing their best basketball of the year down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the opposite of what you want to see, but you want to see those young guys go out there and play hard. I mean, Braxton Key, if you said Braxton Key 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago was going to be an integral part of this, I don't know what I would have told you. But the Pistons have won 3 straight, but the other piece of that is Oklahoma City's won 2 straight. They signed Xavier Simpson from Michigan, and he started him, and they go into Portland and win last night too. So, I mean, this is all just I hate to watch it because it's bad basketball, but it's just intriguing to see to what lengths teams will go to win or not try to win.
And you got the MVP coming into town tonight. It was Dallas and Luka.
Maybe the MVP.
Jokic is the MVP to me, or Embiid.
It's Embiid or Jokic, and there's no third place even. It's just really those guys. And you look at what the stats say and everything else. Embiid has kind of earned it because he's gotten so much better. But Jokic is putting up ridiculous numbers himself. So I don't have a problem either way if either one of those guys wins.
Talking to Rod Beard, new assistant sports editor of the Detroit News. A couple of more games before he reaches that perch, though. He's still Pistons beat writer, and we like him as the Pistons beat writer because he has time for us.
He always makes time.
Hopefully he has time for us in his next role as well. But Rod, there's plenty of time we can talk about the Pistons. There's so many different angles that I want to hit with you in regards to the Pistons, but I want your take on the Lakers, who were eliminated last night from playoff contention. Kendrick Perkins called this the biggest failure in the history of the NBA, not only to not win the championship, but to not make the playoffs in this 10-team format now, with a play-in format, is an all-time failure in NBA history. What do you say to that?
No, I've been saying it all year, is that teams like the Lakers and the Nets just want to fast forward to the playoffs. They want to get through the season healthy and not have guys miss strings of games. And we've seen that with Anthony Davis, with LeBron to a degree, that they just couldn't stay healthy long enough to be a factor in the Western Conference. And the West isn't as tough as it's been in previous years, but I mean, that team was going to either sink or swim, and it was going to happen quickly. And I mean, I'm not going to miss them not being in the playoffs. I don't want to see that carcass kind of floating in the water of what that roster could have been. I don't think they were going to make noise in the postseason anyway. So it's better to have them out now, and we can focus more of our attention.
It's raining.
It is raining.
Rod did lose his power right before he came on with us.
That's why he wasn't on with us at 3, and we picked him up at 3:12.
I was actually going to ask.
He's doing his best.
I was going to ask him a question, and maybe I get it out there now and get it floating, and if he comes back, we can do that. I was going to ask him. I definitely understand, that, and I was going to ask him where to put the blame. More so, is it the biggest letdown in sports history? Because I don't think so, and I think this is why. When you look at the average age of the Lakers roster, when they put this together, when you look at certain factors, you look like that you cleared your bench and sent all those players away, and you were spread thin in terms of that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th man. When you look at bringing back Dwight Howard, who's a lot older now, you look at Carmelo, who didn't play defense when he was young. Damn sure ain't gonna play no defense now. He's older. LeBron wants to load manage towards the end of the season if he can, which he wasn't able to do this year. You knew that going into the year. You got rid of Caruso. Then you bring in, and you don't pick up Kyle Lowry. You don't pick up DeMar DeRozan. Instead, you go get a guy in Russell Westbrook that is the on-ball guy. You got something for us? Come on. Go ahead.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I got to get in on this. Where y'all at with this, Mike? With this Lakers crap? With how bad this team was this season, this utter disappointment from the start, because it was a bad mix to begin with.
That's where I was going.
Because if you look at LeBron James' career, every time that he's been successful, he's been surrounded by what? Shooters. Well, with Russell Westbrook and AD out there, he's not able to get that spacing. They both need the ball in their hand because they're both ball dominant. So I have no idea why, when you have a guy like Buddy Hield out there, you can go make the trade for. You got DeMar DeRozan, who is a mid-range monster. Those are the kind of guys that the Lakers needed to have, so LeBron can go ahead, do his drive and kick out, and then boom, you're able to set up the shooters. But no, what do? You be in your own ego. But you know what? That's Rob Pelinka's fault, because you can blame LeBron James all you want. It's Rob Pelinka's fault that you're the GM. You need to be able to tell a guy no. Jerry
guys like them don't though. But that's why, Corey. That's why a guy like Rob Pelinka, who has no experience, gets that job, because he becomes a yes man.
Becomes a do boy
for LeBron James, and that's the only reason you put him in that role. Because LeBron James, you asked Braylon who gets the blame. LeBron James squarely gets the blame, because one of the things that he did was, and anybody that knows anything about sports, it's one thing to acquire talent. It's a completely different thing to build a team. And that's what you're talking about, Corey. You're talking about, for LeBron to be successful, he needs to surround himself with shooters. Those kickouts. And not only that, Braylon, but when Magic Johnson comes out and says, this is how they should have done this. DeMar DeRozan, if you sign DeMar DeRozan, then it allows you to keep KCP and Aaron Caruso, who are two of your best defenders, on-ball defenders, and then you make a trade for Buddy Hield, who was out there, who wanted to come to the Lakers. If you have LeBron, DeRozan, KCP, Caruso, and Hield, that five is competing in the Western Conference.
Let me ask you a question about LeBron. LeBron James in year 19. LeBron's played for Cleveland. He's played for Miami. He's played for Cleveland. He's played for Los Angeles Lakers. How many all-star point guards has he had in his 19-year career?
Well, off the top of my head, I think of Kyrie Irving. Think of Mario Chalmers.
Didn't ever make the All-Star game.
Well, but Kyrie Irving had for.
No, I'm talking about your second one. I ain't saying anything about Kyrie. I'm talking about Mario. The answer to the question is Kyrie Irving. And he came to Kyrie's team, by the way. He didn't bring Kyrie in or draft Kyrie. Kyrie can't play with real point guard. LeBron doesn't play with number one point guard.
He's the point
He doesn't
forward.
play with. He needs guys like a Norris Cole that I can tell you, man, just go over there. He needs guys like Mario Chalmers that I can tell to sit down and shut up. He needs guys like Daniel Boobie Gibson or Mo Williams that he can tell to shut up and move over, or I need the ball, or now do that. Russell Westbrook has never been that guy. And you know how outspoken he is. You know how we like to use the word crazy, but you can't use that word nowadays because it's a negative connotation. But I'll start by saying I'm crazy. He's crazy too. You don't want to deal with Russell Westbrook because you know what he is. He set that team in motion. He failed from jump. LeBron gets a lot of blame for that.
I got one for you. When was LeBron most successful?
In Miami.
Miami 2013.
And I'll tell you why. I know you guys got a break, but I'll tell you why he was successful there. Because Pat Riley is the lone voice in Miami. He wanted Eric Spoelstra gone. What did Pat Riley say?
No, you leave.
And he did.
And he did.
But when LeBron gets to play GM, he's not as successful. It's not it's not NBA 2K in real life.
Yeah.
These guys are put in these positions because whether they fail or not, they know what they're doing. LeBron, he wants to play with his clutch sports buddies, and look at how that turned out. The fact that they traded all of that talent for Anthony Davis. First off, I'm not against trading younger talent and packaging them to get a superstar, but why would you package all of that younger talent to go draft an injury-prone superstar? And had it not been for the break in the bubble, there's no telling if AD would have lasted that entire season. So now you're trying to go ahead and make trades for the younger guys you already have, the Kyle Kuzma, the Brandon Ingram, the Lonzo Ball. You kept those guys together, or if you package those guys for a superstar that can stay healthy, the Lakers are not in this position right now.
You're the man, bro. You're the man. That was well done.
And guess who has the #1 pick for the Lakers this year?
Pelicans.
New Orleans.
The Pelicans.
Well done, Corey Woods. That was a
Good
great
stuff.
analysis. Great analysis of the Lakers' failures this season. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Rod. Got him back on the line. He'll talk about the Lakers. We'll talk about the Pistons and beyond.
I'm so happy that LeBron's out. I cannot ever root for him. Take a walk.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
He bought Dwayne Wade there. Planet Fitness, time to get in shape. $10 a month is all it takes. Your fitness is essential with them. Check this out. You can go in person and sign $0 down, or you can ball out, big baller shot collar, get that $22.99 black card. It allows you to do a plethora of things, like have access to over 2,000 locations worldwide. Hydro massage chair, that's Maz's favorite. Unlimited tanning, and also you can bring a guest every time you go. That's like having 2 membership for the price
If it's free,
of
it's me.
1. Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential.
Ermanni and Edwards right back here on a rainy Wednesday.
Does Braylon have more LeBron hate for me? I want to hear it.
No, I didn't have, well, it's not necessarily LeBron hate more than LeBron true. It's not the first time that LeBron's failed at GM. He also failed his last year in Cleveland. Remember that team he constructed? He bought back Iman Shumpert. He bought back J.R. Smith. Bought in Dwayne Wade.
Totally forgot about that.
Remember Dwayne Wade?
Yeah, I mean,
his best friend?
Until you mentioned that, I totally forgot that Dwayne Wade played in Cleveland.
You forgot about somebody else.
Dwayne Wade was a
Derrick Rose?
Cavalier?
Yeah.
Remember Derrick Rose was there as well? It was Derrick Rose.
Totally forgot
Dwayne
about
Wade.
that team.
He bought all these superstars. See, sometimes what LeBron focuses on is the big name. He doesn't focus on the cohesiveness and what the chemistry could be. Oh, you know what? Who's my best friend? Dwayne Wade. It'd be great to finally play with him. Let's get D-Wade. Oh, Shump. Let's bring Shump back, man. Me and Tiana Taylor are cool. Let's go get Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose still has the biggest name ever. He's still the youngest MVP of all time. He goes after the name. He had to cut all those guys. How you cut your best friend? You know why? Because you brought your best friend to a losing situation, and he agreed to come because he's your boy.
That's right. Guys, let's bring him in. He is the assistant sports editor of the Detroit News, still on the Pistons beat for a couple of more games. Rod Beard joins us now, and we appreciate Rod fighting through all of this power situation he's got going in his area right now. We thank you so much, Rod. Thanks for coming back with us. And we'll just start there. We'll pick it up with the conversation we're having right now. How much blame does LeBron James get for this failure in Los Angeles?
All of it.
Yep.
All of it. Every single bit of it. He deserves it all because he's the de facto GM, but he just thinks it's like Lifetime Fitness, that you can just pick any 5 guys and go out there and play, and it's not that. You've got to have some chemistry with your guys, and you need some young guys and some veteran guys. There's no mix of good young guys, and they went out and gave Taylor Horton Tucker an extension instead of going out to get Kyle Lowry and get some other guys who would be functional and effective on this team. LeBron deserves all the blame, 100% of the blame for this.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. When we were talking before, I said you've seen late GM work before and it not be successful. Everybody thinks about the Big Three in Miami. You think about when they finally beat Golden State in quotations year in 2016. But you don't talk about in that 2018 year when he literally bought in Derrick Rose, his big name. He bought in Dwayne Wade. He bought in those guys. And then by December, had gotten rid of all those guys and moved them. So late GM has failed before. Where does he go from here now? Like, where's the next move for LeBron James? Where's the next move for the Lakers? Do they part with each other? And if they do, who parts the sea?
Yeah, I think they've got to gauge LeBron's temperature on what he wants to do. And I think it was telling that he said when his son comes out and he's in the league, that's the team that he wants to play with because he wants to play with his son. So that's saying he's not married to L.A. He's a year-to-year free agent, essentially, that if he wants to play somewhere, that's where he's going to go because he's a power broker enough that he can make that happen. If he wants to go and play in Oklahoma City, he could do it if he wanted to. So I guess it's more on him than anybody else to figure out what that next step is going to be.
How about him sitting out last night knowing they're going to go down? That's what a coward he is.
I mean, I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I don't want to see – it's like Golden State with Steph last year. If they didn't have their full roster, it wasn't going to be fun to watch. I didn't want to see this Lakers team take any attention away from what Memphis is doing or what Dallas is doing. Teams that are making a move this year, or what even Phoenix is doing as the number 1 seed with the best record. Those are the stories and things we should be focusing on, and not the Lakers as a play-in team, for example, trying to make it and still trying to drag the carcass of those veteran guys through the playoffs. I want to root for Memphis. I want to root for Phoenix to try to win a couple of rounds and get to the Western Conference Finals. That's the stuff I want to talk about more so than the Lakers and LeBron.
And I want to talk to you about that, too. One more Lakers question for you. One more LeBron question from me, Rod. Does this, in I wouldn't call him a coward. I think that's a little strong. But does...
Punk.
That's a little...
I give you that. It's fine.
When you talk about the greatest of all time, LeBron, Jordan, Kareem, whatever, how can you be considered the greatest of all time when your team needs you the most, you're choosing to sit out? You lose that game last night, you're eliminated. I mean, how do you sit that game out? And does that take him out of any real legitimate talk for the greatest of all time when A, he chooses to sit last night? You can tell me about a sprained ankle all you want. And B, when his team in a 10-team format cannot even make a play-in game.
I don't think he's not in that greatest of all time conversation. He's going to have a lot of the records and he's going to do a lot of remarkable things. But that greatest of all time, to me, is just Jordan or Kareem or somebody like that has that level of success and a level of excellence that most other people can't get to. LeBron has been to so many finals, but he's lost so many finals also. And I think that's the distinction that the elite of the elite don't have, is getting there and losing, or having these types of seasons where they're healthy and they can't carry their teams to the playoffs, as you're saying, where 10 out of 15 teams are going to make it.
Yeah, I just have a statement about that. I've been watching this winning season, winning time on HBO Max. It's made me go down that rabbit hole of watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Minority of One, which is also a documentary on HBO. I'm sure you've probably seen it a couple times over. Looking at that and just watching Kareem from Power High to UCLA to the first year at UCLA when he couldn't play, although he was the best player in the country. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the best player to ever play basketball. Michael Jordan second. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going with, man. That's my 39-year-old self.
Isaiah Thomas would agree with you, by the way. I think
he agrees with anybody. As long as Jordan's not your number one,
he's got Kareem at number one. Maz, what do you got for Rod here?
Hey, Wilt's pretty good too. Yeah. By the way, hey, go to the Pistons for a second, Rod, and the upcoming draft. And we want to put it up. Yahoo put out a mock draft yesterday, and it had the Pistons taking Paolo Banchero from Duke. Who do you like there? First of all, where do you think the Pistons are going to finish in this lottery? First of all, are they going to get screwed and get knocked down? How far down can they fall? And who do you like in that pick?
If they finish at the 3 spot, the farthest they can fall is 7.
Oh.
So I think you can find a lot of guys there, but I think Banchero's the guy for them. He showed me a little bit more in the NCAA tournament that I felt like that's kind of the pick that they want to go with.
How can they fall that far?
Well, because they need the Lakers to move up.
Yeah. But the Lakers pick goes to the
Pelicans get that pick anyway. Rod, talk to me about Chet Holmgren. I mean, I feel like I could deal with a lot. I could deal with Banchero and Smith and Jaden Ivey. I don't think this Chet Holmgren, he's too thin and too skinny. Am I crazy there or what? I just don't like it.
No, I think there's a lot of questions about Chet Holmgren's kind of frame, and you see a lot of big guys like that, 7-footers who have knee injuries, foot injuries, any number of things. I just don't think that he's sustainable. He's not even a center. He's more of a small forward, or better, even a power forward, than he is a center. And if you're 7'1" and you're a forward, you better be Dirk Nowitzki, not just a skinny guy who's out there trying to make something happen.
Not Sean
you can't
Bradley.
Play him at center. Yeah, exactly. And that's more the vibe that I get from him, a more athletic Sean Bradley. But you've got to be able to affect things on the defensive end, and you better be pretty doggone good offensively if you're going to be 7'1" and not be in the paint. You've got to show me some other stuff. And I just haven't seen that from him. That Timmy on Gonzaga, Drew Timmy, looked to be more the lottery pick than Holmgren did most of the time. And that's concerning to me. I just don't think that you can risk that at number one and say that's a guy that we're going to put all the eggs in the basket for and he's going to change our franchise. I would be very, very leery of doing that if I were one of the teams at the top.
Rod, I want you to put on your guessing hat for a minute. In the October-November opener of next season, is Dwayne Casey the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, or does he move up into the front office somewhere and let someone else take over?
Here's my guessing hat, and I don't even need the guessing hat. I'm going to say yes. He is going to be there. He is the guy for them, and you can see that the development that these young guys have taken, even when you look at a Killian Hayes and a Sadiq Bey and a Cade Cunningham, they've all improved over what people thought they would be in their first or second season. So I think he's got the roadmap to get them there. Troy Weaver, everything that I've seen says that he has complete trust in Dwayne Casey. I would 100% say that he is going to be back next year.
Last one for me. I read something today about Zion Williamson, and there might be a chance that the Pelicans deal him and get a player or two. And they mentioned the Pistons. Maybe move a pick and a couple of players. Would you do that? Put up. There it is. Read that for me.
It says opinion. One, feel bad for Zion's situation overshadowing team, but realize NBA is more about stars than teams. Two, Pelicans becoming special. Zion could put them over the top next season. Three, if he doesn't play, enters the summer unhappy, I think a trade is possible. Detroit for a top 3 pick, Sadiq Bey and Killian, ?
What do you think?
Get out of here. That says Bay, right? B-E-Y at the bottom? No, not at all. I'm not big on Zion, and I never have been. No, not even just for the draft pick itself. That he's worth that. I can't see it.
You wouldn't take him straight up for the pick?
No. Do you know that he's going to be available? Do you know that? That's too much guesswork. And even with a top 3 pick that we don't know a lot about, at least he's under team control. With Zion, you've got to pay him. No, thank you. That's not where I want to spend my time.
I'd take him over Chet Holmgren.
Well, if you tell me it's that, then yeah. Zion would break him in half in the post, but yeah. If it's the number 3 pick, I like just the financial flexibility of having a rookie there.
Right.
All right, Rod.
I'm taking Zion.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm taking Zion. Zion is ridiculous. He was always available in high school. He was available at Duke for the year that he was there. Ran into a little bit of foot injury. You saw what he did his 2 years in New Orleans at Century. You saw when he came in his rookie year, took over and dominated in those 40 games he played. You saw last year, he scored in 27, 7 and 7 at one point. He finished the season with that. I just think he ate a little bit too much and doesn't necessarily like New Orleans. Doesn't like that front office. And shoot, no one that is in New Orleans likes New Orleans.
Hey, Rod, congratulations, and thanks so much for everything you do for us here on The Bottom Line. Ermanni and Edwards, assistant sports editor of the Detroit News. Enjoy your last couple of days on the Pistons beat, and if you need any more applicants for the Pistons beat writer job, you always have a platform here. We can get the word out for you.
No, I think we have a high school freshman who asked about getting the job. And we also had a guy from France who said, do you need to live in Detroit because I could do it from Zoom? So
he can do it remotely.
Reality show.
I love it. There's a little hint of accent there, too. I love it.
Good luck. Pistons talk here would love it. Anthony's a good hire,
Pistons Mavs tonight. Get a chance to see Luka Doncic. All right, thanks, Rod.
One thing I wanted to get to, I didn't get a chance necessarily to say it, is people make a lot about Chet Holmgren's size. He's skinny, and yes, because he's a 7-footer, he's lankier. I don't. Giannis Antetokounmpo was smaller than Chet when he came out, or around the same size. KD looked the same when he came out. Kevin Garnett looked the same when he came out. Those guys were super skinny, but they were very talented. What bothers me is how fast he's grown and the level with how good he's been skilled. He's really only been skilled like he is now for about a little over a year, and he grew to this height a little over 2.5, 3 years. So that's what bothers me, not necessarily him being skinny, because a ton of NBA players are skinny, and NBA is not nearly as physical as it once was.
That's well said, Braylon. Good stuff there. And did you want to touch on the Diggs more?
Just a little bit.
Okay, Braylon's got some thoughts on Stefon Diggs' contract, and we're going to talk to the winner of our
there we go.
Bracket contest.
NCAA bracket contest.
This is the person that hacked the system and cheated. I told you I was in first place at one point.
I told you, Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. What is going on?
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac, located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Les Stanford, your Corvette king. That's right. GM announced the all-new 2023 Corvette Z06. The weather's going to clear up one day soon, and you're going to want to be rolling down Woodward or wherever you may live in style. How about 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds? What are you waiting for? CorvetteKing.com. CorvetteKing.com. Check them out right now. For all your other Chevy and Cadillac needs, head over to LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new road.
Find them.
And get in that Corvette and drive on down to your nearest Big Boy. That's right. Big Boy is back, and so is the Seafood Festival, including on Friday night seafood buffet. Goes till April 24th. Catch it while you can. It's fish and chips, fish fry, popcorn shrimp, and pike perch. The new fish sandwich available as well at participating locations at Big Boy.
You know, I don't ever think about or ever eat enough because now everywhere has them. But you look at something like these, like Elias Brothers, been in business a very long time. When's the last time you had a good hush puppy?
Ooh,
oh my God, hush puppies are so good. You keep telling me this, the seafood feast, man. I'm gonna have to go down there because I was a fan of hush puppies when I was growing up.
Fish and chips, man.
Yeah.
They don't take a backseat too much.
Arthur Treachers.
I think Big Boy has one of the best salad dressings of all time.
Which one?
That garlic and oil dressing is second to none. You will never find anywhere a better dressing on a salad than that garlic and oil at Big Boy.
You take the kids up to Mac Ave?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
How about the Big Boy that was in front of the place for all those years? It's at Grosse Pointe North High School now.
Isn't it so great?
Isn't it? I love it. I want one.
Just a staple in the community.
I want one.
Guys, hey, before we get back in here, I want to bring in Christian here. He won our first place tournament here. He won $1,000.
Woo.
He picked Kansas to win it all.
The bracket challenge. Congratulations to Christian.
Christian, you on the air with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for playing and thanks for hopping on with us. What was your strategy in picking Kansas to win it all and pick the bracket throughout? Did you have a particular strategy?
With March Madness, I'd like to do just the straight up number 1 and 2, but you never know, especially this year with St. Peter's coming out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
So it's a lot of luck and a little bit of skill, but mostly it's just I've seen Kansas and I felt like they had a good chance at it, so went with them and it paid off.
When they were down 15 at halftime, were you shaking in your boots a little bit?
A little bit. It got a little bit nervous, but after that, I'm like, it it was crazy. After what was it? Baylor had that amazing comeback on UNC.
Points, yeah.
I watched that game and I was just this one game playoff, anything can happen.
Oh yeah. The good thing about it is I think you'd already won the tournament based on Kansas getting there. I think you would have won anyway. Who's your favorite college team? Who's your favorite team going into the tournament, or who's your favorite team? Period. And why?
My favorite college team absolutely is Michigan. I'm gonna be honest though, I didn't have Michigan. Like I loved that I didn't have them getting past the first round. I was very surprised that at that run. I was very happy with it, but.
So you're essentially rooting against your favorite team for the sake of
a little bit. It's like I like to say I'm a Michigan fan, but I'm also a Lions fan, so my expectations are kind of tempered a little bit.
A lot. Good for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. $1,000 richer.
What are you doing with the money, man? What are we using the scratch to do?
Honestly, I'll probably put it in a bank or pay some bills.
That's right, man. Get back on time. Get back on time, man.
Buy yourself a Kansas jersey, though.
I might get one. I got some family over there. I might get that one and send it over to them.
There you go.
Christian, here you go. Take $100, do something for yourself, and take $900, get yourself on time, get yourself in the bank, maybe a little rainy day fund or something like that.
I say roll it over on my bookie right now and bet the Tigers over.
Get out of here, man. Stop. Don't listen to this. Christian, don't do that.
Christian, listen to me. Let it ride, man. Let it ride.
Don't listen. Hey, listen. This is a man that makes $2 bets. Don't listen to this man. He will have you broke. Don't listen to him.
Thanks, Christian. We appreciate it, bud. And tell your friends about Woodward Sports. Hopefully you like what you hear and stick around for a while. Thanks, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Have a good day.
You too now.
Congrats,
you too now. That's Christian. Picked up $1,000. He won the tournament. Picked Kansas as the winner.
And who got second place there?
Second place is Josh. He won a pair of Yeezys.
Wow.
He had Kansas winning too, I think.
And here's the best prize.
Kansas winning too.
Third place.
Papa Romano's Pizza Party.
That's what I wanted to win.
I'd rather
That's all
Papa
I
Romano's
wanted to
Pizza
win.
Party than the Yeezys.
I wanted to win it more than $1,000.
Although now though, because I'm all about this Kanye documentary on Netflix, which is pretty eye-opening.
You like a month late.
I know, but it takes me a minute.
Okay, that's good.
I just finished Cobra Kai last night. I'm way behind.
I am all about these Yeezys, man. This Kanye West is a genius.
Yeah, he is, man. Well intended. We've been talking about it. Myself and Justin. Justin in the back. What's up, Justin? We've been talking about it takes you back down to when Kanye started. He really bet on himself, and it makes you really appreciate who he is, what he's going through, the all the ups, the downs. It gives you the mental health side. We talk about SMA, Sports Marketing Agency. Talk about the podcast. Gives you the mental health side, things that he's dealt with his whole life. How when his mother died, how it broke him. To a certain extent, he was distracting himself so he didn't have to deal with her passing until eventually things always pushed through. And once it pushed through, it was a tough thing. But once you said, he is a genius.
Donda was a beautiful woman, man.
She was amazing, man. Educator in the cities of Chicago. She was deep and dope, as we say.
Maz, I saw you raising the mic. Did you have something to add to that? Oh, good.
No. I was just going to congratulate all the winners and thank Papa Romanos for hooking us up.
Absolutely. Bray, got about a minute before this.
That's all I need.
Give me something on the DK. Not DK, Stefon Diggs. $70 million.
People were upset, not understanding why Stefon Diggs got paid so much. Look, check this out. Sean McDermott gets to Buffalo in 2017. They lose the wild card. Okay, they had Tyrod Taylor. They lose the wild card. Start a rebuild. They go 6-10 the next year. Then they go and lose in wild card again. Well, what they looked at, Josh Allen, young quarterback, struggling guy, trying to figure his way out, but we do believe him in the future. It's the fastest way to help a quarterback.
Wide receiver.
Get him a wide receiver. Why not go get the guy that just had the Minnesota City Miracle? Why not go get a guy that is showing you he's getting better and better and better every year? Why not go get a guy that's young? They go get him instantly. First year there, lost in the conference championships. First year Stefon Diggs was there, lost in the conference championships. 1,535 yards, 8 or 10 touchdowns, 127 catches. Last year, they should have went back to the conference championship, but they lost the coin toss in overtime, which the rule has now been. I wasn't even being funny, which is true. The rule was changed. They lost the coin toss, or else they're going back to the conference championship. 2 years in a row with Stefon Diggs. 2 years in a row, they almost were in the conference championship. You got to break that man off. You got to pay that man. He deserves everything he's getting, and he's still young. 7 years in. Emmanuel Sanders is about to be gone. Cole Beasley's gone. Now you have Stefon Diggs, a proven all-pro player. You got Gabriel Davis in the slot. And then you have Gabriel Davis, Stefon Diggs, and you got Eric Enox, the tight end. Got to pay that, man. People deserve the money they're getting because wide receivers, quarterback can throw the ball, but if ain't nobody there, if nobody make that play, you talk about Calvin Johnson, you talk about the great ones, the Julios, the Odell catches, the ABs, the Devontae Adams. What do quarterbacks say all the time? I just look down there and I know he'll be there. Do you know what that means? That means you trust an individual to be there. That means he has to get there, but not only once he's there, he's got to make a play.
Yeah.
So, man deserves money.
Guys, we're going to come right back. Maz's videos of the day. And one of Maz's videos that he played yesterday has been trending all day today on every national network. So this segment that Maz, my hat's off to you, buddy. Because basically some of the videos that you pick are seen all throughout the next day. So
thanks, buddy.
Having the foresight. We appreciate it. Thanks, Maz.
My pleasure.
Ermanni and Edwards.
What was Sports Network?
Don't pull us down.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, everybody, it's another beautiful day in the D. Go get yourself some vitamin D. That's right. Get a tan at Chili Peppers Tanning right now. That's right. You're not going to get any sun in this state. So go down to the cleanest salons in the D, spotless, sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. If you join the Pepper Club, they're going to beat all competitors by $5. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your vitamin D headquarters. Check them out. 26 locations and more on the way. One right down the street here on Woodward. Chili Peppers Tanning. Go get your tan on.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. How would you like a precision haircut? Who wouldn't want that? I got mine yesterday. I got home. My wife was like, damn, who cut your hair today? I said, my girl Becca at Lady Jane's. That's right. She was into it. Well, my wife, not Becca, but you know what I mean. Get to Lady Jane's for a precision haircut. Register for your chance to be 6 figures richer as well. Ooh. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. There is one near you. Let a talented stylist treat you like a king. Open 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. All you got to do, walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh, wee, baby. Get to Lady Jane's. Win $100K. Registered to win that $100K, I should say. It's wicked awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And here we go. Final segment of the program on a Wednesday. Still raining out there. I was hoping it would let up.
It's going to let up for when you leave.
Yeah,
it is.
Right when I get in my car.
Yes.
Right.
Right when you get in your car, it's good. The weather's going to just change. Like the sun's going to come out of clouds and the heaven's going to be beautiful right home.
If you weren't so cheap, you'd be in the garage.
That's right.
Ooh.
It's that time of the day we like to play Maz's
videos of the day.
We made it.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day. Only on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'll throw this out at Alex because I'll just do it on the air. Do we have the video from yesterday, by the way, Alex?
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, we'll bring it up then. I'll start with this one from 29 years ago. I love my baseball. Hey, was there a better swing than the kid? Ken Griffey Jr. launches an opening day home run against our own guy, Jack Morris.
Ooh, Jack.
Belted deep to right field. Going, and it's gone.
Look at the fireworks.
What a swing.
Good Jack.
Look
that
how pissed Jack was.
I mean,
he's got the mustache from
the mustache from Jack Morris.
I just have to say, I'd say a couple words. If I say the kid, you know who I'm talking about?
Ken Griffey.
If I say Jack, who am I talking about?
Jack Morris.
Nicholson.
No, Jack Morris.
Oh, Jack Nicholson. That's a good one.
When I hear Jack, I don't know. Jack Morris pops in my
I'm Jack
head.
Nicholson.
Well, in the sports world.
Yeah. Well, that's my world.
Well, you said Jack in sports world is sitting courtside at the Lakers game. It's still Jack Nicholson.
All
No, I'm
right,
joking.
I'll go to 1970.
Or Jack Nicklaus.
I'll go to 1971 now. I know Braylon makes me likes when I go back in the archives.
Or Jack off, yes.
This is Billy Williams against Bob Gibson at Wrigley. Jack off.
1-1 the score. There's a pretty good shot to center field. A very good shot. The ball game's over. The Cubs win it on a Billy Williams home run.
Hey! Hey!
It's like everybody's like white uniforms all look the same.
Look at that.
You can't tell me it's not Hank Aaron right there.
Oh, I can tell you.
I'm joking. I'm just saying there's a lot of similarities. They're very lazy with the white uniform.
You gotta love the Cub fans that show up.
Why is it gotta be a white uniform?
Day out.
Because the uniforms are white.
We're getting silly now.
Put a C in.
We're
Blue
getting
helmet.
silly now.
Did you guys catch this fan at the Oklahoma Thunder game the other night?
It's another one?
Yes.
Another one.
$20,000 richer. All he's got to do is hit this half-court shot.
Well, Michael, when you come to the arena, you get to see cool timeout moments like this. How about Carson Whistler? $20,000 from Mid-First Bank. Final home game of the regular season. Bite. Rumble is pumped. And how about that? Banking it in.
Look at that. Look at the eyes, man. The eyes tell it all.
Where's he put his money?
First thing he's going to do is get a haircut.
So
tell that to Alex.
First two things I think about when I see this is one, Jackie Moon, when he gets the full court shot, and then he goes to the bank, and then Jackie comes back because there's no money in the bank. He's like, Jackie, they said there's no money in his check. He said, well, did you go to a big check bank? Maybe you have to go to a big check bank. He said, can you just give me a small check that works? The other thing is the process takes so long to get your money from these promotions, like NBA promotions.
Yeah.
My boy won those Lions raffles that they do.
Uh-huh.
He won that one year. I want to say it was 2018, 2017.
How much did he win?
He won. It was supposed to be $120,000.
What did he get? Like $40,000?
Well, when they gave him the money, like a year and a half later, I think he ended up getting around like 60-something like that. Yeah, but it takes forever to get your money.
It's an insurance thing.
Well, yeah,
I'm sure.
everything takes longer with the Lions anyway. We all know that.
Don't put them on that.
Hey, this
sounds like somebody else down the road.
Here's some. Can I just be regular? Do I have to be like somebody else down the road?
Well, I'm just saying.
Can I just be a fan?
You only get that.
I'm older than him.
You only get that Lions hate.
Whatever.
This is true.
Here's some kids playing. Here's some kids playing basketball. Now I want you to watch this because the team.
This better not be old ladies.
No, it's
Don't
not.
be trying to trick us. This better not be old ladies.
Is this glamour?
This is young kids.
I'm leaving if it's old
But
ladies.
they give up on the play, except one little punk kid does not. Check it out.
Oh, wow.
He threw the ball up in the air thinking, it's a big shot. The game's over.
And tried to do what you've seen on TV.
Comes down, and the kid picks it up and banks one home.
Oh, my God.
For the win. And the video we were talking about yesterday that kind of it is going viral. Look at this video again. It's a CFL player from Edmonton. Well, he doesn't have it. I'll pretend that we have it. And it's the guy that was flipping over backwards, holding about, I think, 70 pounds on a barbell. And a lot of people were saying today, I'm hearing, was that real or was that fake? Some people think it was fake.
It was real. I mean,
It
as
was
a
totally
person,
real.
It was totally real. As a person that's done backflips, like it was real.
He actually, we saw a video of him today doing a backflip on the track with a glass of milk, getting an Oreo and dunking the Oreo in the cup of milk and not
As he
spilling
landed.
the cup of milk.
This guy's going to be, he won't need football.
No.
He's going to be
YouTube sensation.
Yeah, but the only thing about that is when you start doing things like that, every time you're going to have to continuously outdo until you're going to do something that's not going to end well, and you're only doing it for $50.
No doubt. Hey, hell of a time with you today. 10:34 a.m. tomorrow. 5-time Masters champion Tiger Woods tees off. We'll be talking about that round when we see you. He'll just be finishing up, most likely, when we get on the air at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So lots of Tiger Woods discussion tomorrow, as well as a preview of opening day. We'll be out there on Friday. We hope to see everybody out there
Getting
with
us a baseball guy tomorrow.
at the brass rail. We'll talk to somebody regarding those Detroit Tigers as well. Braylon?
Hey, the rain stopped.
I told you.
No, it didn't. I was only kidding.
That was a trick right
That was bad.
What a jerk.
Sorry, Ryan.
In the great words of a great woman, Melissa Plater, my mother, less is more. Great show, fellas.
Thanks,
Sam,
Say
Maz,
less.
Alex, this one over here, Ryan Ermanni, my
Pause.
guy. We appreciate you guys. See you later. It's the bottom line.
Peace.
Suter on the wing, Verana coming right in the goal. Has back the shot. He scores! Sandina! It's 3-2.